Hey guys, Graves here. Sorry about that. I did have a stream going that just kind of like ruined itself. So had to go in and fix that. Yeah, man. It like I don't know. It just like went out, and so I was like, because I didn't have the little thing over here where I can read your comments. I didn't have anything, and then like I was watching the comments pop up on my phone, but it was coming back so slow that I was like, "There's something going on." I just come up with them. They're just really random. I did see Stumps talk about the Star Wars. There is a manga, I believe, that's coming out for Star Wars, which should be pretty cool. Hopefully, everybody else will know to get out and come look at this one. So let me redo all that crap real quick. So NTR, Netsuzo Trap, um, got it from Lindsay Tutt, and a giveaway from her. Um, I got volumes 3, 4, and 5 with my haul from with Prince of Tennis. So I'll get those. I pre-ordered volume 6. After I get done with that, I'll be able to catch up on the other two she sent me, Non Non Biori and Welcome to the Ballroom. I hear they're both really good series, so can't wait for that. And then I also had this right here, which is my manga haul the other day. I forgot to do. So To Love Ru, 9 and 10. High Rise Invasion, 3 and 4. Hinawa Got Crush, Volume 1. And Intros with Monster Girls, Volume 8. No, Volume 6. My bad. So that is all that I believe that we were at. So we're caught up. Took a second though because we were behind and the video messing up. All right, Amasco J. I'll talk to you later. Yeah, I had to fix the video and everything, so it was kind of a pain in the butt. But yeah, anyway, and then this week, what I read was Otherworldly Izakaya Nobu. Really good one, Volume 1. Um, I read Holy Corpse Rising, Volume 5. Really good one, too. Love that one. And I got Monster Soul 1 and 2 finished. That was a good one. For anybody that likes fairy tale in this, I highly recommend Monster Soul. There's also another one that's coming out here close to the end of the year from Hiro Mashima, and he actually talks about wanting Monster Soul to actually be that. He wanted to make a book of just short stories and have like a chapter or two about different things that he did. And Monster Soul was going to be that, but he ended up connecting them, and so it didn't turn out how he wanted it to. But he actually mentions his, I think it's Hiro Mashima's parade, um, but that's what the Monster Soul one is off of. Um, so really cool. I really enjoyed this, and I liked knowing that. Now getting that short story one that he made is going to mean so much more because I know that he talked about it and imagined it coming through from this Monster Soul one. So that was a good one. And then currently, I'm part of the way into it is Lord Marksman of Vanitas, Volume 8. So, what's up, RPX? It's for me to pick up Monster Musume and say, that's my favorite manga. I wish. I say that too. You see, like Sunday morning. Monster Musume has and always will because I bought the Monster Girl encyclopedias too, which are a little raunchy, but I liked looking at it in the way of, you know, nobody's really done that before making Monster Girl encyclopedias. So that's pretty cool. And all knowing all the different kinds of creatures that they based them off of. Um, but Monster Musume and Yokai Girls and Yuna and the Haunted Hot Springs are all kind of right there, same level um, together. So they were pretty good. But yeah, man. Then I have some of these other ones. I'm kind of like, are they? Do they go with that? Are they in the same group or no? So all kind of just depends on different stuff like that when you look at it. Whew. Had a quick yawn. So, Message to Adolf is the one that you want to know about, Migs. Uh, are you talking about the Monster Girl Encyclopedias, RPX? Oh, yeah. They're really cool. I like that they go out past that too. It's not just, like you said, cat girls. I mean, they do everything. They even bring like part of like the Japanese culture into it, and with all the different like lore histories and places. I mean, you got like the one little Japanese island out by itself. You have the northern island that's out by itself, that is like the island in the mist. Um, you have the fantasy world, the Wizard of, well, not Wizard of Oz, the Alice in Wonderland kind of world. I mean, everything. I like all the different stuff. My favorite part, because some of it, after reading so much of it from all the different girls and stuff, it almost seems like it gets repetitive. So I really like the pages where it gives you the history about them. I have not read Glossium 4 yet. I am doing a poll on my Twitter um, to see like what's the next set of like volumes I should read, and that was on there as one of the choices. It was that, something else, and a third one, and nobody picked Glossium for me to read. So I ended up, I just put them up here. I think I ended up getting uh, uh, Seven Deadly Sins to read instead of Glossium. Oh no. All these people, they keep adding to it. I feel like it's going to get really weird really fast. Yes, I like American comics, but I usually just read them online, um, from like Marvel or DC, the website. I have a insider subscription to them, and then there's also my brother collects American comics, so a lot I get to read from him. Um, but I'll buy some and then I'll just give it to him. Usually, if I'm reading it, because he has the comic collection and I have the manga collection. Um, so, uh, Darkest Night and the Batman Metal Knights are the two big ones that I like so far. Kid Kaiju, the old ones of like Doctor Strange and Ghost Rider. So there's a bunch that I like. I'm a big superhero fanatic, which Stumps, you haven't seen it yet or anything, but I have Marvel Legends. I have maybe, I'd say maybe close to 100 of them, maybe over that. I'm not sure. Is that's a different one? It's not like where he's like a White Lantern or anything, is it? Uh, and then Star Wars, I saw they have a manga that's supposed to be coming out at some point for it, which is pretty cool. They are doing a Justice League manga that's coming out too. Oh man, I'll have to check that out then. My brother may have it. I'll just have to ask him. He uh he got me into the Batman Huffs, and then I just slowly started buying all the other ones. I think the only one I need left to read is Batman Devastator or Devastated, where basically Batman takes on like Onslaught. I think that's what the guy's name is. It's the big Batman villain that's gray with like rock on him, but where he takes on that aspect or that power and fights and kills Superman from his world. But I mean, they're good. I liked all that different stuff, all the different mechanics that went into it. Like, oh hey, I'm gonna turn myself into such and such or whatever. All the little different things that were in that were just great with the Batman Metal series. And Justice versus He-Man. I've heard of that. My big one to read really are the what ifs. Um, I love the what if such and such did whatever or any of that. I'll have to check that one out too. That sounds pretty cool. I do like He Man. My comment stuff keeps like disappearing on me. Oh, he gets Bane. Um, Kind of reminds me of the I can't remember his name right now. It's the kid that's from like the distant future, that has like our world's regressed down to like the dinosaurs and everything. So we have like you know, the guy, I can't remember his name. He's kind of like a Tarzan character, and he's got a saber tooth tiger. Um, that one's pretty fun too. Yes, that's it. I'm like, I know if I know, but I don't know unless somebody tells me the name. Hey, Danny, you finally made one of these? That's pretty funny. Right. I mean, we there are a few that I have that I've gotten from different family members that are more Americanish. I have like a whole stack of the Scrooge McDuck comics that I got from one of my uncles. And that's kind of something I don't really include in my collection, but um, my my brother usually collects all the comics unless I buy them online and have them on my Marvel or DC like insider kind of thing. Use headphones. It's like all I can do is text hello. Getting a lot of people today. Oh no. Left him in the car. Yeah. Um, hate that too. And they do. Yes, my brother does have a YouTube channel, but his is older than mine. He actually does like fighting games and stuff, but he doesn't post a lot of videos or anything, so it's kind of a pain in the butt between that. I really think he may have about 15 videos on his channel, but I mean, I'm getting close to catching up with him, or um, he's getting close to catching up with me in that he wants to come back. Let me rephrase that. I'm getting close to catching up with him because of the amount of videos of mine he's been in with his channel. There we go. I was trying to figure out how to word that and I kept putting it strange, but he's been in probably about 5 of mine. So I mean he is slowly catching up. In October, whenever Bizarre Individual comes down and hangs out and stuff, uh, my brother's going to try and hang out with us. And at that point, I'll probably engulf his channel because we'll probably make videos left and right. Right. Well, hey, haven't gotten to. Yeah. Well, time zones are different. Yeah. But I mean, a lot of them started out as like indie stuff too. Before everything started getting under Detective Comics and stuff. I have old magnets that I got from a store, and one of them says Detective Comics on it with Batman's like one of his first comic books, and then the other one is a Superman one from Action Comics. So all that stuff. I mean, indie stuff, I like that too. Spawn and Hellboy are some of my favorite guys too. So it's just kind of funny how that hasn't got included into DC or Marvel yet, and it's just weird. Like nobody, I guess, wants to try and grab any of those. Red Sonja, um, Vampirina, all those other ones like that. Yeah, but they try to call them indie. So right, right, yeah, and it happens that way. It's kind of weird. Um, I mean, I guess it's kind of how it works, though. Like my field of expertise is psychology, and that's kind of how you have to do it as a psychologist too. You have to get with like a pristine hospital or something like that, and work for them and have everybody. And then when you leave, you basically like all your clientele says, "Oh, I'm going to come with you." That's kind of what you have to do. You have to get your name out there first, which is kind of a pain in the butt. Yeah, that'll be cool. There's I mean, and then just the influences. I like how different ones of them have influenced other people that do manga or like the All Might character. He's cool, and the fact that whenever they draw him all like muscly and stuff, he looks like an American comic guy. So it's kind of funny between both of those. Yeah, One Punch Man, two. But I think I read somewhere that All Might from My Hero Academia, like they actually had a conversation with one of the people that did Superman, I believe, so that they could kind of figure out what they wanted to do with him and kind of take on that art style. That's why he looks kind of weird. But pretty cool. Antarctic Press Comics. I have to look that up after I get off the live stream. That way I can do that and have use of the computer. Oh, that's horrible. My a thing that a lot of people tell me it's kind of weird that I know about is my dad being in the military. If you went on base during like not free comic book day, it was free comic book day for them. Um, but you could go on there and they would do like a special comic that was free, where it was like um, the army helps out or the air force helps out the Avengers, and those were some of the funniest comics I saw, because it was kind of like you could tell like this happened and that they were all like side guys, all the army men and stuff, but then like towards the end they would always have this big like, here's this, you know, you have to, you know, it would focus on like some of them, and they would tell you like all this stuff related to, you know, whatever. But it was really cool just seeing stuff like that. Walmart. I'm gonna have to see if I can find that out too. I feel like I've seen the Walmart thing, maybe on Twitter, but I haven't seen any of that. I haven't seen the actual comic. Nobody like linked it or anything, so I'll have to figure that out. Figure it out and check it out. See how good it is. Right. Stumps, are you still on here? Do you were you gonna ask about Star Wars or just American comics? You kind of brought up the topic, and like I haven't seen you say anything except heck yeah, Spawn's cool. He might be gone already. I do not know. We will have to see. Yeah, that's fine. That way people know that what we were talking about if they want to look it up. Oh man, American comics brought to you by a manga tuber. Ooh, I don't know. Um, Not sure. Maybe I do. I have a Twitter account. It's Jen Graves, same. The other thing you may be able to do, it might not let you put it in the chat that we're doing right now, but if you click it where the chat kind of like scrolls up, you might be able to post it on the regular chat like is on YouTube and stuff. Because I know that this chat right here is just for when you're in live stream. But yeah, you can send it either way. Migs, you had a thought? I gotta like readjust this chair. You sit for too long, and then you're just kind of like, my arse, it hurts. Did you link it to Twitter, or did you send it down below? Okay, Twitter. That's cool. Should you be waiting for the FBI? How is it legal? For what? Are you getting a big discount or something? I want a discount. The only one that I have on there is I had a thought, and it didn't include anything. I've only gotten 2 from you. I had a thought, should I be waiting for the FBI? How is it legal? And reading my previous comment. I don't have another one. Did you have a post get removed or something that was on mine that I'm just not seeing? Um, um, I'd say no, because I don't know what to tell you. I have that too on my shelf. I haven't read yet, but I did see that too, and I was like, "What the hell?" Um, I don't know. I mean, I don't really think they can consider that anything. If it's like hentai or a manga or anything like that, I mean, because then they would have to consider that. But I mean, most girls in manga don't look what they say that they are. You can hear me now? That's good. I was just replying back to your message on Twitter. So you'll see it and you'll get to hear it. I guess I think To Your Eternity, I think I have it pre-ordered up to volume 8. I'm not 100% sure though. I do have what I posted on Twitter though on that poll. I have it 1 through 6, but I need to read 2 through 6. Um, Somebody told me that Guyver was having a manga come out too, so waiting on that. Oh man, I wouldn't think that. Right? Yeah. It's kind of weird that way. I don't know what to tell you. I have for To Your Eternity, yeah. I have 1 through 6. Yeah, Migs, I have to read that too. So I kind of skimmed it and I saw that and I was like, what is this? Um, but you know, every psychological thriller, like anything, um, Flowers of Evil did it too. Everything kind of has something where the kids are portrayed as being age whatever, but it's written by a person that isn't that way, and so they want to portray it, you know, in like a form of like rape or something like that. Flowers of Evil did something like that too. Basically, it was like reverse rape where a girl took advantage of a guy, and you know that that's something that they just kind of put into it. I don't think anybody can come and try and get pissed at you about that, but you know, it was something that you just bought and you didn't really know it was there until you read it. So I think I'm just waiting for the publication on that RPX for it to come out. Unless it's the old one, because me and you talked about the old one before. Yeah, it's probably one of those ones that they gave up on before, like Zatch Bell or Kurahim, Dragon Drive. A bunch of them they kind of like started doing, and then they just kind of gave up on them. Like, oh hey, don't worry about it no more. Yeah, I mean, you gotta think about it though. How many of us manga tubers like talked about a girl on the shore, and I haven't even read it yet, you know, and all that. That would. All right, guys, we're rounding you all up. Stand in a line. You know, I feel like that's how it would be if that happened. Denpa, the new one. Yep. Yeah, that's the new publisher. Um, if you watch Anime Uproar, he actually, when he does his contest, the guy that draws the pictures for the contest is actually one of the artists for Dimpa, and I think he might be like a partial owner. I'm not 100% sure on that, but yeah, and I've actually gotten to talk to that guy a couple times. I forgot what his thing was here. I think it's Kazuma or something like that. But pretty cool guy. You know, I always think his art, like the drawings that he's done, are just freaking fantastic. The only thing I hate is some of the art that he has to draw. I feel like there would be some that would be a lot cooler if it actually went with something that could actually happen in the story, like they did an Attack on Titan one that I was like, I don't see this being a power, but you know, I have not read Terraformers, but it is on my list. Um, Terraformers is one I've actually been chomping at the bit for a long time. It's just from circumstance, I haven't gotten to get it yet. Terraformers, I want to. I got to buy it. All 20 volumes or so. Hopefully, I'm really hoping, fingers crossed, that there's a Viz sale that comes up here soon so I can buy it from Viz or from Right Stuff. That way I can get it. I didn't get to do it on the last one because there were some other ones ahead of that one that I needed to get. Um, Sadly, no. Fist of the North Star kind of goes outside of what I enjoy for some reason. Um, they they do that. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is kind of on the same like level as that one, but it's just a little bit like closer where I will read it. I mean, I'm sure if I got a manga or something that was Fist of the North Star, I would probably read it, but it's just one of those things. I think the live action one is probably better because it's actually kind of comical on some of the fight scenes, like the I can't remember what punch style it is, but the punch where they can basically like take three steps or so or something, and then they like blow up. I mean, just different stuff like that. So that's horrible, Migs. I can't believe that would be horrible. I mean, but I don't think anything would really happen to us because, the guy for the Rurouni Kenshin that also did, God, I mean, he's taught a bunch of the manga artists that we read and stuff and everything. He came out basically saying that he liked teenage girls and stuff, uniforms and all that other stuff. So, I mean, and all he had to do in Japan because it's not illegal in Japan, I don't think, unless they're like 14 or lower. I mean, it's like pretty low in Japan, but he had to pay a fine for it. So they do have like fines and stuff for that, but he said that's just what he likes. But they couldn't say anything to him about anything else except for that. So yes, I totally agree with you, RPX. Um, Amaskio J has it, and Toaster Cat has it. Um, I don't have it. I think I'm gonna get the old one, but it's pretty cool. Devilman, I do have that one. That one I like. Um, Cute Honey, a Go Go. I think it's a remake. I have that one. Haven't gotten to read it yet. I haven't gotten to read Violent Jack or Demon Prince Enma. I've heard good things about Demon Prince Enma though, and Mazinger Z is kind of on my list a little bit. Show you Devilman. Um, I can show you a Devilman. Because there's besides the classic one that came out um, here recently, there's two other ones that are out as well, which is this one that I've been reading, which is kind of like a rehash remake, and then they have Devilman versus Hades, which is its own kind of standalone thing where they're gonna have a fight. So it's kind of weird. But this is one of them. This is Devilman Grimgar, Volume 3. So this one's pretty good. I like the story so far with it, and the art's kind of wacky, crazy, which is pretty cool. Um, I also like where they're not too weirded out with like showing boobs or anything like that. That's kind of one of the other things. I feel like you either like cross the line or you don't. Into like Monster Musume, you cross the line of it being basically like big fan service. Um, Devilman Grimgar seems like it's just like natural and all this other stuff, and they don't really make a big deal of it. They just kind of say, "Oh, it's there," you know. So there's nothing too crazy about it. Yep. And I like how Devilman stands by his motto of uh, quit. I feel that was a snap at me, Migs. It's because I like Monster Musume, isn't it? Oh, I bet. I can totally see that with some of the things. It's kind of like, where did you get that from? That idea. No, I mean, it has to have like a good storyline and stuff. I do like some of them that are that way. Obviously, like Sekirei, but there are some other ones that it's kind of like. We talked about it last week too, Migs, and I couldn't remember it then. Eiken, Eikeen. Like almost everybody in the cast has like boobs that are bigger than God. I don't know, but that was it was like 12 volumes. That was a total waste. I'm glad I read it to get it out of the way, but that was a total waste of brain power. I didn't like it at all. Right? Devilman's origin powers are, especially from him not absorbing anybody else. I mean, it's got to be crazy. Let's see. The sexiest manga series I own. I don't know. I would consider that one that has nudity, sex in it, and I mean, I have a bunch running through my head that I'm like, okay, there's nudity in it, but there's not sex in it. So, um, there's really only one that comes to mind about that. I was trying to think if there was another one, Migs, that kind of fits into that stereotype, but I cannot think about it unless I had like a hentai or whatever. But that would be Don't Meddle with My Daughter. That's the one that was written by um, the people that did Dance in the Vampire Bun. And there's sex scenes in that and different stuff like that. Well, no, I take that back. I would say it's a tie. It's a tie between that and um, How to Build a Better Dungeon, the book of the Demon King. Both of those I would group together, um, which I had the same reaction as you did. There's a part in it when you're reading it, and they give the guy a sacrifice basically. They give him this little girl, and he's like, "Where's the older girls? You know, I need somebody that did it to basically protect herself from being attacked and raped." And he ends up basically like going back and fixing her and all that. She's like his secondhand wizard now. But I mean, almost every chapter until you get into the fourth book basically has a sex scene in it. The fourth book only had two. What pain in the butt? Let me catch up real quick. Um, RPX. Are you going off of the anime that they came out with? Because the origin story of Grimgar is kind of darker than that. I mean, they do have a party. Um, no, I haven't read that one. I want the regular Nana series, but I haven't seen that one. Yeah. They had an anime for Devilman where the guy was at a party and The wigged out, all that stuff. On the Devilman Grimgar, they have it where they go through this girl's trying to do like a ritual to find out where her friend is, and accidentally ends up summoning Devilman, or I forgot what his real name is. Um, Summoning him, and then he basically goes and interlocks into her friend. That's this boy, and so now he's the new vessel basically for Devilman. So it was pretty cool. Um, but they do have a party in it that this guy's trying to summon the bird harpy demon lady that's on um, the cover of that book. I'm so behind on comments, guys. Let's see, one step at a time. Oh, I mean, I have all of Dance of the Vampire Bun. I need to get the second part though. Dance of the Vampire Bun, whatever it's called. Dive into the Vampire Bun and Dance of the Vampire Bun. Stories of the Sledge or Sledgehammer. So those are ones I need to catch up on and get those. So hopefully I can get those soon. I'm trying to catch up. Oh yeah, Amon. I am almost 27. I'll be 27 in December. So I'm 26 right now. So you're about Insidious sweet age. Yeah. A lot of people tell me I carry myself where they sometimes think I'm older though, because I um instead of like going out and drinking and everything, like when you're supposed to do that as a teenager, I would always talk to people and figure out like kind of their life story. So it's kind of weird, I guess. I always just did that way. I never had to worry about anything, and I figured, why not get some wisdom off of somebody and talk to them and enjoy that instead of rotting my brain, kind of, so to speak. That's horrible. That would probably hurt too. Migs is like, I'm an adult. You don't have to call me young. That's cool though. So we're only 3 years away from each other, or four, depending on the day, I guess. Oh no, it went away. I feel like that was a low blow. Um, I've been the job I have right now. I've been working there since 2004, so I've been working there since I was 22. Um, really good with benefits and everything, and I've been paying rent since I think since I was 23 because I actually rent from my mom, but I still have bills and stuff to pay. So, and then Bazaar lives by himself and pays his bills and still buys a heck of a lot of manga. So that would be my number one draft pick for who would catch up with me like super fast. Because somehow I tell Bazaar not to buy any more manga, and he does anyway. Right? He's trying to catch up. He's like, Jen Graves, I'm going to catch up to you. Hey, man, that's only because you decided to do the challenge, but you will. You're getting there, Migs, though. I mean, whenever you got to think about it, though, like, and I always think about it like older people, not much older, but like RPX said, people that are 30-ish or 40-ish or even older than that, like you go through like a thing of how long they've collected. So if me and you, Mig, started collecting comics now, we're not going to collect enough to catch up to one of those other people for like ever. Um, you know, so and one of my father figures, he's not like my real dad, but he was one of the guys that I kind of hung out with. He's got, I think he's got over 10,000 comics. I had to go in and help him sort through his comics at one point, and he had them and read through them and everything. I mean, just a lot. Oh, you rotate your hobby. I mean, but as you go down, you kind of like everybody gets a little more jealous, I guess, because my father figure is like 50 something and has those 10,000 comics, while the next person underneath him might have 4,000, and it's just kind of an age thing. It kind of goes down, or um, they do different stuff like that. They read, or they had it when it was new. He he's got some comic books when he was younger, kind of like when everybody tells me about No Longer Human, they're like, oh my god, you have that and it's OP, um, out of print, and I can't get it anymore. Well, for me, when I bought it, it was in print, there wasn't anything. Now it's just the point where it is that it was, so they have other ones that they had way back when, like Superman Volume 1, and they got it for just a couple cents, and now it's however much it goes for, So it just kind of depends on stuff like that. How many volume mangas do I buy a month? I don't know. Um, I really don't know. I pre-order mine most of the time. It's like 5 months in advance, and by the time we get up to that month, if I have some leftover money or something like that, I will kind of add into it. That's kind of how I get to do it. That's how I got all the Prince of Tennis volumes and stuff. So I guess this month it'll probably be about 100. I tried to calculate it the other day. I probably get about close to 1,000 a year, so something like that. What other hobbies do you have, RPX? But that is pretty cool that you give to local kids. I live in a neighborhood. I mean, my neighborhood's good, but I live around people like you can't like give any local kids anything because most time what they're going to do is turn around and sell stuff off. So, I mean, it's really hard. Whenever I go somewhere else, most of the time I try and do that or figure out what it is, or if they're in like a big brother or big sister program, something like that. That way you can make sure that your stuff is going where it needs to be. Hey, Danny's back again. Oh man, Migs, you just gotta wait. There is so much that, like, I was trying to play catch up on buying like Zatch Bell and stuff, and it was so hard because it was OP, and I had to figure out like where can I go to buy it, where can I do it, can I get it for a cheap price, and can I get it where it's not damaged? There's so many different things. It's kind of like, I wish I could just go back in time where I could buy it at my local bookstore or something. Oh yeah, yeah, something like that. Well, more than that, probably about 120 a month if it's we're going up to 1,000. Let me look at that. 1,000 divided by 52 weeks. Um, we'll just say by a month. Yeah, probably about 85 volumes or so. That's why I always get mine from Right Stuff, though. It's pretty cheap. Guns. I want to go to a gun range. That's always been something I've wanted to do. I haven't gotten to though. You ever put YouTube on and just sit there and listen to it while you drive? I do that sometimes. That's horrible. I can't believe you do that, Bizarre. Even though you tell me sometimes you're watching my video, I'm like, I agree with you, RPX, a lot. Um, you know, and I, like I said before, being a psychology degree person, I'm almost done with my bachelor's. So, but I'm planning on going for my doctorates. But my whole philosophy with that is I'm not going to be the person to go find somebody. I'm going to be the person to wait for you to come to me, basically. And that way, I know you came to me for this reason. So, same thing like with manga. Like whenever Migs has a question on like a certain manga or a Maskio J or something, and it's one that I know about, then it's kind of you go ask somebody that's supposed to be wiser about it, so to speak. I mean, and I love manga because there's different ones. Like Goodnight Pun Pun, Danny and Migs have both read it. I've never read it, and now I can go ask them about it. So I like manga too. In the whole, it's kind of a give and take thing where you trade manga when you talk about it with each other. Uh, but yeah, I really hate that some neighborhoods have to go downhill like that. It was raining here too. Um, my pre-orders usually, well, with manga and stuff, usually about $300. A paycheck comes out towards manga, or so something like that. A little less. Sometimes it's about 200 for my one that I have to pay utilities and stuff on, and my other one's kind of free. Uh, yeah, we have an officer here that's really good. Um, I can't remember his name right now, but he'll go into those neighborhoods and hang out with the kids, and the back of his trunk is always stocked with like chips and sodas and everything, and he'll go like watch him play basketball or something. He's just like super cool. Dr. Jim Graves. Oh man, I would totally accept that as a slogan, but I always feel like because I'm so easygoing, like just talking to somebody is a psychological thing, you know. That's why whenever somebody's like, I feel like I want to read a new manga, what should I pick? You know, that's why I always ask them like different questions and stuff, you know, kind of like me, I guess, grilling them to find out facts so that I can be like, hey, this is the one I think you should read. Almost like if it was going to turn around, hey, this is a medicine I think that you should try and go get, you know, something like that. I mean, you can get the stuff from Right Stuff too. Um, the only thing is you can't get the free shipping for 50. You have to do it for the 150 if you were going to do that. But the membership still costs $18 and stuff. So, you know, and I feel really weird if I lived in a different place. I don't think it would matter because most of my hauls are always over $150, or they kind of go into like the $200 range or whatever, and I'm just like, I could live anywhere and get them to ship it to me for ordering at least $150 worth. Uh, right? I need to get Goodnight Pun Pun too. Yeah, I understand. Oh, buy Bazaar. Okay, sure. I understand buying the higher price stuff and all that. You know, they do give you a little bit of a discount when you buy pre-orders, which is a good thing. Nothing too crazy. Um, but I do try and do that. You do get a discount off of it too. Uh, RPX, Jim Grace, Manga Doctor. What is your PhD in? Um, it's in manga. That'd be pretty bad. Jim Graves Extraordinaire, Manga Doctor. That's just horrible. What time is it here? It is 3:14 p.m. Right? It's going to be bad when I have to go back to college. My buys will probably drop when I have to do that. I'm so close though. I'm like 5 classes. Right? Oh, are y'all closing up shop soon? Oh no, you already left. I would say bring me some food. That's what I always tell Bazaar when he says that he's working his second job because it's a restaurant. I'm like, will you bring me something? He's like, it would be a 6-hour drive. Why would I do that? Yep. That's horrible. The new Dr. Phil. I mean, if I wanted to be the new Dr. Phil, I wouldn't even have to have a PhD. Fun fact: did you know that Dr. Phil has never been to school to be a doctor? Somebody just kind of tacked doctor onto the front of his name. Oh yeah, I'm off Saturdays and Sundays. I work for um, an assessor office, so that's kind of the other thing that I do. It's one of those county jobs. Right? You see some of the kids that get on Dr. Phil. Oh man, sometimes when there's different things that like set me off on different tangents, and some of that he has a degree in landscaping. That's pretty funny. Um, Whenever like some of those kids go off on tangents, I'm like, somebody just needs to smack them in the mouth, like you know. Um, Especially some of it, like if they talk bad to their parents or an adult or something like that. I'm like, shouldn't you like listen to the person? Because what if they're trying to help you, but then you're there and complain about it, and then want help later on? It's kind of a broken economy system that's kind of dumb, but hopefully that will fix itself at some point. I don't know. Danny must be going to sleep here in a second if it's 10 p.m. there. It's about a 7 hour time difference. Reading, though. Reading is, I think reading is key for a lot of people. I feel like you should be catching up on a manga right now. True. I feel really bad because you never hear about like Oprah in a relationship or anything. And I totally, watching Drake and Josh when I was younger, I totally was like, Oprah is kind of cute. You could totally, and I was like, but if I married Oprah or something like that, I would totally, it would be over with. I'd be like, getting me some manga today. It would be like a thousand a week. I would probably get sick, and then I'd probably build myself a manga for it and just live in that. That's horrible. I can't believe that. What I was going to recommend was a volume of Monster and then 2 volumes of Monster Musume. And you need to do that until you get caught up. Drake and Josh is great. Dave Chappelle is great too. I really like all the older comedians. As far as that goes, hey man, what's up? Dave Chappelle, like the old Eddie Murphy and Adam Sandler, like all that stuff. Robin Williams, God rest his soul. Um, all those different people are just great. Bernie Mac, damn it. God rest his soul too. You know, all those different people. They're great. I love watching them. Yeah. Um, uh, Joe Diffie keeps popping in my head, but that's not who it is. The guy that does the ventriloquism. I can't remember right now. I don't even want to talk about that. That was just I was like, what is going on here? Really, one of the worst ones I would have to say with Monster Musume, besides the Milk Farm one, would be the one where he's with Zombina, which is the Monster Squad people or the Mon Squad. She's the zombie part of it. And since she's a zombie, at one point, one of her boobs falls off and it's in his hand. And he's like, I don't know what this is. And he doesn't figure it out. He's not sure what it is. And then she has to let him know, like, hey, um, that's my boob. And he's like, oh crap. So he's got to, like, she pulls out a needle and thread and is like, will you sew this back on for me? And I was just like, if you really ever had to date a zombie in real life and it was one where you wouldn't get transformed, you're like, what? Oh yeah. Let me double check that for you. Because mine comes out at some point too. They might have changed the date though. Um, 15. There we go. My Hero Academia 15 is actually already out. Let's see. Trying to find the release date for you. That way you can at least say, like, hey, I know that now. 10-2. So probably what happens is what happens a lot with Shonen Jump volumes is it was kind of like pre-sent to them, and they always send it out early. Actually, that may be one that's coming in with my next week's manga haul. Right? What's the VPN trick? Yeah, a lot of Shonen Jump or anything done by Viz usually will get sent earlier. than expected. There was a time when I was getting it almost a whole month earlier for part of the year. It was weird. And a lot of people didn't know that was happening, and I'd be like, here it is, you know. There's gonna be people watching this like, y'all talk about a lot of subjects on this channel. Yes, we do. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to check that out, see if it works sometimes. Because there's some mangas that I need to get that I think I'm gonna have to get on Book Depository. Google it. Hey, what's up, Godo? Go. Oh, God of Darkness. I was like, I couldn't see it that far away. That's pretty crazy. I feel like everybody would call you that now, though. If I called you Godo, then everybody's going to be like, if you like it, though, we can continue it. Oh, yeah, it's ridiculous. If you order something like in Japan, somebody sent me a thing the other day that I saw. If you order manga in Japan, like one of the usual ones we'd get for like $10 or $6 if it's shown in Jump, you can get for $4. And if you order a omnibus, you can get it for $8. And I was like, both of those are cheaper than I can get. I might as well pay for classes in Japanese and Chinese so I can read the manga and just buy from them. I bet they're looking at the dollar exchange though. Well, that's cool. Yeah, they are. Um, Going off of that, the book depository thing though, and being able to do that, there are people that are like accountants, and they will take like the U.S. dollar, send it over to Japan because it's like a dollar 0.01 and change. Send it over to Russia where it gets like another 3 cents, and they'll exchange it to the point that by the time it gets over to Europe before it comes back to the U.S., it'll have like, if you used a dollar, it'll go all the way through, I believe, to, I think it adds like another $5 to it by the time you jump it around all the countries, which is crazy as heck, you know, that there's people that do that. Oh, that does make sense. I live in the UK, so just ship it to me. But I need you to ship it to America. That is pretty good, though. Oh, well, you don't even need to use the trick that they're talking about. What kind of manga have you been reading recently? Anything? Anything good? I wonder, though, if y'all got a membership for Right Stuff and then ordered the 150, if it would be cheaper for you guys that way too, because they don't add anything extra to it. It automatically says if you order $150 worth of merchandise, that's manga or something like that, then they send it to you. You order a statue or something, they make you pay shipping. But you could totally get $150 worth of manga and have it sent over to you. Yes, $150 is free worldwide. If you go to their website and click on it, that's what they always say. If you're United States or Canada, orders of well, I think they actually cut Canada back out of it, and Canada is now considered worldwide. So in the US, it's $50 at least for that, 150 for Right Stuff. Anywhere else in the world, unless they change it, which I haven't seen them change it in 5 years. So looking at yourself to remind yourself, I do that too all the time. I'm like, what did I read last? I mean, it's not really censored here, but there was one that was censored that was based off of Ash and Pikachu, and it had Misty changing into a swimsuit, and that was censored. The one that I have though is red, green, and blue and yellow, and it's not censored at all. So, but there's also nothing that seems like it needs censored. Oh yeah, Ride Stuff is pretty cheap. Um, Instead of spending like your usual amount, you're gonna get, I mean, a good chunk. Most manga actually goes for like $9 if it goes for like $12 originally. Um, and books that I get that are like 20, $30 at the store. If it's $30, I can get it probably for about 25 unless they have a thing going on, and then I can get it for 20. And the other ones that are about 20 go for about 15. So it knocks a pretty good chunk off of the bigger ones. Yeah. You have to save it to do it. No. Yeah. I tried to ask Right Stuff. This was a long time ago. Well, not like super long, but maybe like 4 months ago. I tried to ask them if I paid for a membership for somebody, can I give it to somebody or like transfer it to their account? And they said no. You have to. if you paid on that one, you have to keep it on that account. And I was like, I was going to do that as like a giveaway thing, like 10 things and give those away for 10 different subscribers or whatever. I still need to read Ibitsu. It looks crazy though. Yeah. I really want to know if I think it's just supposed to be a one shot, but I want to know because it does seem like they can leave it where it could expand out, or they could have like a second part of one. Oh, From the New World, I have that one. It's pretty spectacular. The ending was great. Just telling you. Um, and it's going to totally throw you off guard. You when you read it, you're going to be like, "What?" Like it totally caught me off guard. It's great. Simply G or Glee or whatever. She has something set up where she buys all her stuff at once in the US, puts it all in a box because you have to pay like $50 to ship it to Australia. She gets it that way and then gets the whole box sent to her. So she's only paying like the shipping fee once. So I'm not 100% sure how that's done, but it's pretty cool. The ending of Ibitsu or From the New World? That would be pretty crazy. Oh, okay. From the New World has a crazy one, but I think you'll probably like it because it's good. And then where they go from there, because you got to think about the timeline though as they start telling you it's crazy. When will you see a collection video? So it's in the works. I am waiting on two things now. I'm waiting on Bizarre individual to come down here and help me rearrange my shelves, and I am waiting on which I have to buy a new shelf before that, and I'm waiting on to actually have the milestone in hand. That way, I'm not missing out on any of them because I'm going to give a list of my pre-orders too, but I want to make sure I'm up to the 4,000 to even do it. Um, so that's pretty funny. Migs, we want to know yours for the 1,000 subs. Yeah, I was gonna do that, but then I kind of decided, I was gonna wait till I just hit the one of my 1,000 milestones to do it. You have to get rid of some of your manga. Why is that? I agree with Trump, man. I want to know. yeah. Right. I feel like for one day you should move like a table into your room, Danny, and then put all your manga on it and just go over it. I totally had to. I thought about that too before whenever I had them all in the storage room because I was like, how am I going to do this? Because they'd all mine would be in boxes too, and I'd have to pull out each box and go over what was in it and all that stuff. So I'm kind of glad I got everything back out of my storage room. That way I can actually do it like the traditional way on a bookshelf. What two titles are those? What I think is in City Sweet Spark, um, for being one of the bigger manga tubers, time. Honestly, it's kind of like rolling a stone down a hill, and or something like that, or a clump of dirt. It just picks up momentum and more dirt as it goes. Because he's been on for 5 years, Mig. So that's basically what I think it is. And then he just, you know, I think in the long run, though, and I really hate to say it, I think you and I will probably, after 5 years, and we actually catch up to In City, Sweden, whatnot, or however you want to view it. I really think that will be the point when us putting out more videos will actually be the thing. Until I had to delete my reviews, I was probably picking up 2 or 3 people a week based off of my old reviews. So, I had to delete those though because I'm going to redo them, and you know, so just moving from there. Not only that, but I also think the whole community challenge thing helped. I had some people tell me, and I don't know if it worked for you or not. You can tell me in the comments below, you and Danny, at least, if you guys got more subscribers or not. I mean, that's kind of what the whole thing was for, is to make people aware of other good manga tubers out there and have them come view channels and be your supporters too. Amaskio J, I think Toaster Cat gave him a shout out. I gave him one on a thing, and he ended up picking up like 20, 30 subscribers. It was pretty crazy. I was like, what? But, I mean, pretty cool stuff. There you go. But Trump man, your collection video would be the best because everybody would be like, 5 minutes, done. Whoop. That's all I want. All the rest of us would be like, SpongeBob, where they pop up the little number thing. 5 hours later. That would be our videos. It'd be a pain in the butt. Yeah. Yep. I don't know though. I don't know how that would be. Because Code Provider was the one of the big people way back when too. So it just kind of depends on how they go with that, really. That's another thing. I think I'll get a lot of subscribers in the future or when I do my collection video, just because of, I mean, you guys know, like, my vast knowledge, and 4,000 is not really a number that you see every day in our community. not to throw anybody under the bus or anything like that, or say that anybody that has less. I mean, it's just, whenever I heard that Manga Hoarder had 5,000, I was like, oh my God, but she collects with her sister. And I'm like, I really wish I had a sibling that we did that. So, it's a comfy chair. No, I have a weird shaped back, so I kind of have to do that. Did you want to give away for Vinland Saga, Godo, or um, what? I have mine right there. I haven't gotten to read it yet. Oh yeah, manga collection videos. I like seeing that, but I like seeing that to see what's different and see if there's something that I might like, because I'll look at the difference and I'll figure it out. Which is really weird. A bunch of my collection is about to engulf some of the other like regular manga tuber people. Um, I think I'm about maybe like 100 volumes away from having all of what Insidious Suite has, except for like the ones I don't like. I mean, that's about it. I think that's kind of funny. Same thing for like Fatal Ferret, except Fatal Ferret has a bunch of the Tokyo Pop ones that are hard to collect too. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But a lot of the other people, like, I almost have everything that they have. So it's pretty funny seeing that. I agree with you on that comment, Migs, on the he thinks it's dying because of old people. But I mean, just like I told Danny the other day on her community challenge video, like you also have like gyms that people never knew about. Like, I had 3,500 before I even attempted to be on YouTube, and that was coaxing by Danny. So, you know, and it's all, if people want to get out of the game, then they can get out of the game. But, it's something that I plan on reading and maybe like passing down to my children and everything else. Oh yeah, go to. I would totally say though, on those two that you were talking about, talk to like Bizarre Individual. He knows a bunch of different people that have older series and they keep trying to get rid of them. You might be able to collect them at a decent price. I haven't read it yet. I need to. Trump man, that was great. I was like, you don't ever have it. How do you? Oh, I read it as soon as I get it. And I was like, 100 volumes. There you go. Just send it to you. Then you'll have to. I mean, it happens. If you like take a break like even once, then it just everything falls back on you. But yeah, um, yeah. Going back up to that comment, Migs, like I don't see it. Um, you know, even with people posting less, I mean, like when I first started doing it, Fatal Ferret like did a lot. But I mean, him and Lepsy and everybody. I mean, they just have lives outside of doing stuff like that. And I mean, at some point, I'm sure we'll all have different stuff that is going on or whatever. I usually get to do this like during my free time, and so that's what I try and do. But there are like even watching everybody else's community challenge shout outs, me having new people that I was trying to find for mine, like there are a bunch of new people that are coming out of the woodwork, and I agree with you. I don't see it. I do. I try and do a lot of live streams though because I enjoy those better because I get to talk to you guys at the same time instead of waiting to have it come back. With that. So hopefully with the manga reviews when I do those next week, that'll be the first one that I do. I think I'm going to pick 4 series out and keep them between 30 and 40 minutes. That way people can ask questions and stuff. It just depends on how long the series is, though. All right, Trump man. Talk to you later. All right, Megs. I'll talk to you later too. Um, but yeah, I agree with that. So, because we are having a lot of new people pop up. So, guys, anybody else have any questions? I'll probably go for probably about another 13 minutes and right there about the 2 hour mark or so. That way we're not like crazy all over the place or anything. I wonder what a 24-hour live stream would be like. I feel like that would be kind of weird. Because then it would be like, guys, I have to go to the bathroom real quick. Hold on. Come back. You know, all that other stuff. But I also have a lot to read. So whenever we get done, hopefully I can catch up on that stuff. Because that is, I got to get that done and then put up my new polls for ones that I get done reading and series and stuff. So that will be kind of fun. At least until I get into the TBR stuff and I get to start those. Or the real TBR. I always call the stuff I'm reading now my current TBR, and then everything else is my regular TBR. So just kind of got to power through it. And of course, reading, you know. I think it's kind of shocking. I guess maybe it's because I've read so long, but kind of shocking when people tell me that they read like one a day, and I'm like, my record is like 10. That's like really going at it, reading and everything. So it's kind of a pain in the butt doing that too, though, because then you get really burnt out and tired real fast. But I mean, it's all still good stuff. I'm kind of anticipating if any of you guys like Fallout. I'm trying to. I don't have enough room on my phone, so I downloaded it on the PS4 and I started playing that, and it's kind of addictive. But I have all these different people right now that I'm trying to do all this stuff with, and it's crazy. So I'm trying to work out maybe if I can make it where it's got different like storylines I can kind of base off of it and stuff. And that would be kind of funny um, to write down or whatever, you know. So I think it's really cool though. I need to get back to writing some of my stories though as well. I need to do um, another Jen Graves does, and I told Amaskio J, and I don't know if I told you, Danny, if you're still here or not. I'm gonna try and do a like drawing and let you guys see like my drawing ability. So um, I'm gonna try and do some different videos like that and show you guys like what it is. I might even go to the extent of doing like painting and other stuff if I can. It just kind of depends on really, I mean, what all I can do outside of not having to worry about anything. You know, getting it on the carpet and having the time to do it. So it's pretty funny. Sorry about that. You hear my vicious puppy in the background. He's not vicious. He just he likes to bark at noises. So I'm surprised that this is the first time they wanted to start barking in the past 2 hours or so. I expected them to kind of try and do that before, but I guess they decided against it until now. But pretty funny stuff. But yep, I think after I get on this live stream or get off this live stream, I'm gonna go check my Fallout Shelter stuff on my game. I kind of left it where I had like 6 pregnant ladies, and I think I was in the middle of sending some guys out to the wasteland and some other stuff. So hopefully I can get caught up on that too. That way we can figure that out, obviously. And then I'll probably sit down and do some reading. I need to do some writing too, but probably won't happen just yet. But I am pretty good on getting caught up. So we'll have to figure that out. I also probably need to start a second batch of Twitter polls to have my next reads ready when I need them to be ready. So because I don't know how fast I'll be reading, but it could happen that I read them pretty fast. So just kind of depends. But we do have more manga to read. We have a whole TBR shelf here to read, 2 TBR shelves. So hopefully, getting through that at some point will become a reality. So, your TBR shelf is the never ending story. With Atreyu, The Never Ending Story. I love that song. Did you ever watch The Never Ending Story and like The Dark Crystal and The Labyrinth? All those old ones. They were really good. Just saying. Oh yeah, right, right. I should do that too. I should do a challenge where I read like for 1 month and tally up every book I do, and then see if everybody can read like half as much as that. Oh yeah, it's good though. That's one of the classic ones that you can watch all the time. Would you be up for that challenge? Uh, all the books that I read for a month, the next following month, reading like half of them. RPX, you finally came back towards the end though. Yeah, something like that. A lot. Um, there was a lot. I'm trying to remember what else we talked about. Collection videos. Um, right. I'm gonna read like I did before. I'm gonna read 80 volumes or the 70 volumes and be like, hey, will you read 40? I could do that. Do a challenge off of how many I read. Tell everybody, hey, read this many. I'm gonna do that. It may be another things that makes us like, I have to do this. Or a bizarre individual. I know he'd be like, you're my friend. I'm totally getting this challenge for you. I don't know. I mean, I think that you would probably get a manga haul before the end of the month, maybe to include some of those other ones you didn't have. You do have a lot on there, though. But yeah, that would be a lot. I would probably count like a volume of Monster like as two, as big as it is, and I was trying to think if you had any omnibuses that I remember being on there, but Blade of the Immortal. Yeah, me and um, Bizarre talked about being slow readers and stuff. He goes, I don't understand how you can be a slow reader as much as you read. I said, I'm very slow. I said, I have to read like every word in a manga to like get past that. Yeah, good night, Pun Pun. There you go. count that as like 2 or 3 or whatever it is. Um, but yeah, and just crazy. Oh man, I've been playing the regular Valkyrie Chronicles, the completed edition for PS4. Besides the Fallout Shelter one that I've been playing. But yeah, Danny, he was like, I don't understand how you said you're a slow reader when you read that many. I'm like, I'm very slow at reading. I don't know how I do read more than most people. I guess I just do. But I'm not sure how. The reading or the game? I've been savoring every minute of the game of the regular Valkyrie Chronicles because I've been having to get all my weapons and stuff up to date by doing like skirmishes and all that, and getting my tanks and stuff up to date. Pain in the butt. I'm telling you. I love it because it's set up like a tactics game, but I need to find another good like dungeon tactics game, but there's not very many out there. Um, and then I would like for them, but they're not going to. So I'll probably have to come in this room and play my PS3. Um, Devil Summoner stuff that has like almost like Pokemon ish, where you have different creatures and stuff you can catch, or different people you can use, like a chess game or whatever, RPGs, different stuff like that. Those are ones that I just really like. Uh, yeah, I read at work. I'm probably, unless I'm busy doing something else, I'm probably reading about all 8 hours I'm at work, in between like phone calls and other stuff that I have to take. So, Final Fantasy Tactics War of Lions was amazing. I loved it. I never got to get to the end of the game though. Um, some of those other ones my brother has, and I need to get through them, but he's kind of being stingy right now with me borrowing games, so it's kind of a pain in the butt. That's true. I don't really get to read after I come home though, um, unless it's a night when everybody's away or anything like that, and I don't get to read on Saturdays, so it's kind of a pain in the butt. I hate it. I wish I could take off like a week and just go to a hotel room somewhere and just read the whole week. Oh goodness, this is a lot of different games. I'm never going to be able to catch up to them. Yeah, I would sit there and try and play all of them, and it would just be bad. I mean, I'm good at tactic games. Don't get me wrong. But I would just be sitting there too long. Um, I usually read manga whenever I can or I get the chance to, not with anybody at home, because manga is one of those things that somehow in my life I have turned it into a catalyst for um, not getting angry or anything. Um, or like brushing something off. I read manga, so I don't do anything like that. Um, you know, so just a bunch of different stuff like that. I guess in a way you could kind of say like manga is my drug that I need, but there's some that I just, you know, I sometimes I'll take a break from that too. So it just kind of depends. But it is really good. We did that one challenge thing and I finished the 80 and then I was sitting there and I finished the 70 and then I was sitting there and gonna finish 30 the next week for y'all. And I couldn't catch up to it because I had a couple days where I had to do stuff. But I ended up reading, basically 20. I read 20 of the 30 and I was sitting there and thinking about it. Well, if I multiplied it by 4, that would be 80. And the whole challenge for the whole time was 70. So for me to read 20 in a week was phenomenal. So, pretty crazy. It just depends, I guess, on um, putting your nose to the grindstone and stuff too. When it comes to that, it gets kind of hectic though. Oh yeah, I just maybe if the shoe is on the other foot, like maybe I would do that, but I don't have class right now. I don't think I'm very good at drawing, so I don't do that. And I know that takes a lot of time. Um, you know, so there's a bunch of factors that go into it, though. I agree with you. So we're going to go about another minute. Any last thoughts, questions, opinions from anybody? And yeah. Oh yeah. From the list of games you got, I would feel I was insulting your good gaming skill if I told you that you weren't a good RPG gamer. Yeah, yeah. I mean, whenever I have to do anything as far as like my school stuff with psychology and all that, um, you know, and then cooking on the side. Basically, I'm going to be one of those lifetime students because I'm just going to keep going to take classes regardless. And I mean, all that stuff. So it's pretty crazy. You know, I have basically set up 2 majors, one that I'm going to try and get a doctorate in. And there's 4 minors that are on my thing, but in all actuality, there's probably closer to 20. My idea right now is when I get done to go back and do culinary school, but I don't know. But yep. And I never posted my video with Elios when Elios did their 10 things, because I do have 3 dogs, and something that not a lot of people know, but I have a almost a 9-month-old. So that's another thing. A lot of people tell me that I just have a full plate because of everything. Between going to classes and work classes and YouTube and my job that I own on Saturdays, all that stuff. So it's pretty crazy. And then, a child on top of that, and dogs or pets, whatever you want to say. So pretty cool stuff, though. I do like finding out about everybody and how they do their stuff, though. It's pretty cool. But anyway, guys, we did go 2 minutes over. But I will catch all you guys later. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later. Any of you other guys that are watching later on, go back down and subscribe and check out any of these crazy people that commented below. They're all cool. And check out their channels. And I will catch you guys later. I'm Jen Graves. Thanks for watching. Bye.